Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome. I'm doing a super early stream. Got the camera on this side too, so I know I'm going to be all over the place. All right, so we're going to be doing some. Actually, that's the one thing I don't think I got ready for the stream. Anyway, the project that we've been streaming the last few days is Galaxies in Peril. You guys can check that out. I'll get a link probably later today. If not today, then I'll post it in the comments below. You guys can check it out. I believe the Kickstarter is going to go live start of next month, so in a few days. So we got a little bit of time left to knock these out. What we got to do today anyway, here, I'll go back and show you guys. So I got to do the line art. I don't know how long we'll be streaming for. Probably a good chunk of time. Anyway, so we've got this one that we were working on. This one wrapped up. So let me double check. I always forget where my crops are on my streams. Yeah, that's fine. We're working on this one, and then we're going to do the line art for this guy. This one might be a little bit more complicated with the backgrounds in here. But I'm hoping, because I know a lot of you guys ask about building faces and paths, kind of like what I'm doing here. I've talked about this version, or this method, to death. But there's always new people that come in, so you guys might get a kick out of that one. And the last one is this one. Just kind of got a Captain America thing going on. A lot of people in the background, so this will be kind of fun to do. There's like a capital city, or not a capital city, like a town hall in the back. We're just going to rip that photo and just to speed this along. But anyway, that's what we'll be working on today. And then there's not much personal project stuff I'll be working on, because these got to get done. But we'll talk about a bunch of that stuff, I'm sure. Like I said, what I'm hoping to do is, now that we've got, now that we have this quarantine stuff, the virus stuff, all that, I've got a lot more time right now to be drawing. So right now we're doing kind of what I was doing at the day job. So about I start at 7 now since I'm at home. So 7 to 4:30 or 5. Straight drawn, so I'm able to get a bunch of these projects done. Some more commission stuff I've gotten, and we'll be able to really start rocking out Godslayer too, and I'm pretty pumped about that because I get to show you guys more of the process. And the reason I keep saying that is I know there's a lot of cats that are always asking about process and stuff, so we'll finally be able to get into that. So I should be able to stream anyway, pretty much through all of that, for the most part. So I don't want to commit to a time just yet, but we'll be streaming a lot. Let's put it that way. At least until this stuff starts to either fix itself or go away. I don't know which one's going to happen first, so we'll see. How are you guys all doing? You guys doing good out there? Everybody being safe? Right now we got this character here. Hey Lars, how's it going? Yeah, I know when I'm early here, I'm going to be hitting people up that in the UK and stuff that are usually all asleep. Alright, so I'm just going to notify myself that these are going to be here. I'll actually put a KD for Kirby Dots. What this one is here, for some context here, this is like the speedster kind of thing. I designed these guys, I think, back when the first version of this was Worlds in Peril. It's buried under a bunch of books. And the designs I had to do for these characters, they're all like, like this would be like the Flash kind of archetype. And for those that don't know what the hell this is, I should probably start with that. Kyle Simmons is a lovely man that hired me to do the character designs and the artwork for that. And what it was a Dungeons and Dragons but superheroes instead. Kind of the elevator picture for you. And we had to do like, if you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, in that there's always a section usually for people to make a character. Paladin, rogue, right? And you get a little bit of template. It just to help speed people along into actually playing the game, and then maybe coming back later, do all the customization, the character creation, all that. So a lot of these ones, and also you need some of those characters to be like actually named characters, so that when Kyle or whoever would write like stories, you know, like little campaigns for people, these are characters that could keep popping up. Anyway, so I had to design a bunch of these guys, and this guy's the speedster, so he'd be like the Flash, and I really dislike his design. Like, I was drawing him this morning, and I'm like, for me anyway, and obviously my tastes have changed. The goggles I get, you know, it's kind of like a modern Quicksilver thing. And I don't like the modern X-Men movies, and that's all I see when I look at this guy. Leather, bagginess, big military boots, like there's nothing slick about them except the effects that we're gonna add, you know, and like a lot of speed lines and stuff like that. Live and learn, right? I figure if you're going for speed, you want like total slickness, right? Like look at like a swimmer or somebody that just got like a super simple bodysuit. Oh, let me minimize this so I can see what you guys are saying. Chris, how's it going? Really like that dangling of the off build. Oh, thanks, man. Lars, I did my first live stream drawing tutorial yesterday. Right on. That was not nerve-wracking at all. Very Manga-ish. Awesome. Well, then we're hitting the right things. Actually, here, I can show you guys. Ah, my cat's sleeping. I'll show it to you guys later. I got my stack of stuff that I've been looking at. It's like pure Kirby. But yeah, so how did it go, Lars? What was your tutorial about? How you guys all doing through all this, too? You guys doing okay? Everybody alright? So this one here, well, we get some answers there. This guy's running, and the idea here was there's a bunch of these portals, and he's running, I'm assuming, I have to go back and check my notes, that he's running so fast, he's trying to go through time or pick portals in time. And for context, and you guys will probably see this if if we're streaming this. I won't be doing this on the weekends, just Monday to Friday. So if you're here all the time or you check out these things, you're gonna see things over and over again. But here's the cover for those of you that weren't able to see it last time. Just for context here, right? So a couple of the heroes. I don't think actually any of these ones are in the pinups. Oh, she is. This chick on the right, that's this one. Where she got the shield. She's called the leader. Again, your typical Captain America style thing. And we're even giving her a shield just to really highlight that. Deflecting a canister from anti-protesters, you know, trying to break up people protesting and all that kind of crap. But yeah, so here's the cover. Some work that I'd like to do in the future that I talked about is trying to clean this up a little bit. Not that cover, but coloring in general. Alright, I think that's enough. And all we're doing right now, too, is just lines. We're worrying about inks later. I just need to make sure everything's ready to go. I like to work in batches, do a chunk of things, if you guys remember, in stages. That way I don't got to worry about like sitting down at the table today and going, okay, this is where I'm starting. I got to finish that today. I know some people like to work that way. I can't do it. Especially when it's a volume of work like this. Okay, so he's reaching for this one. We got to put some heroes in here. Should probably just draw them. I was going to see if I could just like photostat some of this stuff to get them in there. Actually, one second. Let me just double check my notes that Kyle gave me. I just don't want to I want to make sure I'm not missing something that's super important. All right, what do we got? What were the notes? Rebel. Maybe a portal. He's going to team in it. Maybe racing back in time to warn them of the celestial type thing coming to do. Okay, yeah. So we'll just put the heroes in there. Hello, everybody. Hello. Dina, welcome. Good to see you. Lars, how's the baby? He's actually crying in the background. I think Elena's. She's putting him down for a nap. He doesn't like being dressed. He doesn't like going down for naps. So it's not a lot of work, but he screams. His vocal cords, he's learning how to use those, but he's doing good. We just finished his playroom. We switched rooms, so we've got a much smaller bedroom, and he's got our big bedroom we used to have, but Elena did an awesome job putting up shelving and stuff for all the toys and got the floor down with the mats and stuff. So yeah, he's fine. Skull Diamond, welcome. Good morning, good morning. I'm well, thank you, Money. Thanks for popping in, bro. Lars is saying his stream was alright. It was just a SpongeBob drawing, nothing special, but damn, it's hard to fill out all the silence when you normally don't say. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Hero. Richard, welcome, welcome. I hear everything you guys are saying. I will say I'm fortunate that you guys keep talking in the chat. It gives me something like once I shut up, I can go over there and I can look and go, oh, okay, people are talking, answer questions and get on new trains of thought and stuff like that. But it doesn't help that I ramble a lot, or maybe it does help, and I interrupt my thought all the time, and then I have to go back and recatch what I was saying. It's horrible. Okay, I'm just trying to think actually here. We're going to put all the heroes. Time is of the essence. I'm trying to remember, but I don't like cheesing art. And I'm just wondering, I've got, let me just move my reference over here so you guys can kind of see. This software too, by the way, it's called PureRef. If you guys need a link or anything, let me know. It's awesome. Images in here. Oh. There we go. I forgot that if I middle mouse, I mute. I gotta change that. Let me do that right now, because this software you need your middle mouse button to scroll around, and I'm going to be muting all over the time. Oh, I should say too, guys, even though I'm doing a bunch of work today, and I appreciate you being here, if you guys have any comments or questions, you need help with something, feel free to dump it in the chat. I say this all the time, but somebody that isn't able to make it to the stream might have the same question, and you asking that might be able to help them out. What can I change my... I don't think I'd need the back button. Let's try this. Clear. Yeah. Mouse 4. Apply. Alright, let me just try something here. Cool. Alright. It's nice to have a quick hotkey for muting. Okay, anyway. Alright, good. We're good. Okay, so yeah, this one, like I say, I use this all the time. Used to use it at work a lot. Is you just get all your images. A lot of people, they might use like a... If you're on Windows or something, like a document, right, and you just start saving images in there, and I don't like having all those images that you got to open up Window Viewer and scroll through. This, you can just dump them in. It can automatically, like, watch, I'll, like, disorganize all this stuff, right? You can select it all. Images, arrange optimal, and it'll put them where they should be. Does a lot of cool things. I don't want to get into it now, but... you hit spacebar, right? Boom. Just maximizes it, and you can always resize this to whatever you want. But anyway, so these are all the characters are here. So I would have to draw... I'm thinking I could probably just do the main 5, right? Not that you guys know who those are, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's do it. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, 5. Okay. So we'll do these guys. I think that's the main ones, right? Yeah. Okay. Move that back over here. Alright. We'll quickly draw it. Let's do it. It's gotta make room. Make room. Need to buy like 3 monitors. Over here. Okay, let me catch up with you guys too. Hey, thank you for leaving comments and everybody being here. Again, I hope everybody's doing well during all this stuff. I hope your family's healthy. Hope you guys are, if you're out of work, hope you find work soon. And if you're at home from work, hopefully you're drawn. Man, I can never read these things. Labradell Cosmos? Is that your name? Hey, John, I haven't watched a live stream since your standard days. Damn, that's a long time ago. Welcome back. What new projects you have? Castle Dracula? So, Castle Dracula was one project. I had another one, a longer one called Godslayer. And they were both on the shelf for a while. I've been doing a whole bunch of things. Now that I have a pocket of time that I can just do my own thing. We're gonna try some crowdfunding, I think. I just need to check out how shipping and printing is gonna work with the world the way it is. I don't know how books can get printed necessarily when nobody's doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if maybe I'll still offer something, maybe just for digital. I'm still trying to figure that part out. But we're working on something. So anyway, there was that. And then I had another project I was doing. I've got a bajillion ones that I want to do, but nothing usually ever gets started. The one I was doing, it was like a superhero one. It was this one. And I really do need to focus on work. But it's always fun talking to you guys. I always start going everywhere, and I start, oh, check this one out, check this one out. Now, I don't know if I just want to show at least the cover, because I think a lot of people follow me on social media and stuff, and this is the stuff you see, so it's a little more contextual. I think the covers are in here. Yeah, right here. And there was two versions of this. This one, and I guess the other one's not in here. Where the hell would that one be? Alright, well, I'll open this one and we'll find it. And I'll flip back and forth just to give you guys a thing. So while I'm trying to find that, so what I did is I ran into a plot in this story that I'm not looking to make graphic novels. We're just doing floppies. I heard some people talk about through Indiegogo and stuff that like 48 pages is around the magic number. So I'm kind of aiming towards that. And just doing issues as they go, as people are interested in them. Nothing, I don't want to do a 250 or 120 page book. I think right now that's a little bit too much. I don't want to go in that direction. So this one, the plot that I was running into, I couldn't iron it out. And it was like a critical one that had to do with like, well, like not just the why, but how does that work? And I couldn't answer that. So instead of just trying to prevent anything from happening until I could figure that out, let's just put it on the shelf. We can always get back to it, right? And I was looking back at Castle Dracula because I'm still very fond of that one. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And then I was re-looking at my projects folder of like what could be some cool stuff. And these two things happened where I was like, oh, that'd be great. This works for that. So I just combined them. Castle Dracula was sort of like a loose name anyway. There's something about it I don't really like it, even though it's a play on Castlevania. Castle Dracula sounds very like pigeonholey. Godslayer to me, I've heard that term used since I was like in the 90s. It's always been a cool name for me, so I just combined it. There's a lot of similarities to, like on the surface it'll look more like Castle Dracula, but the Godslayer's part of the story is going to be meshed in. So yes, that's what we're working on. Still have yet to make the Patreon post that I promised, which I will. I will get to that. You know what? You know what might just be easier? We're on the internet, right? Let's open up Instagram. Actually, I should probably use my website. Okay. Bring it over here. Okay. Let me scroll down. So one of the things I'm still torn with, as you guys have known, is style. Wait, did I not post it? I didn't. Damn. Okay. Anyway, his style is one of those things that I just can't. I can't beat this beast, man. This look here is version 2 of this God Eyes project. You can notice everything I do is called God something. Whatever. It just sounds cool to me. So this was this one. This was where I was like updating it to like how I kind of draw now, but with a little bit of rendering. And it, it feels good. It feels fine. It feels modern, I suppose. But I can't break away, and I don't know why. When I started doing a deep dive into like this other style stuff, a lot of people like there's a reaction. It's funny. I have close friends that I value their opinion very much, that go both ways, and I like that because it gives me a more balanced view. I guess this could be an example here. Like this look, it's very different. Get a lot of love and praise and support for this, and then on the same hand, I get a lot of like, this looks, amateurish. This doesn't look. It looks like maybe I'm pretending to be somebody else, and I think a lot of that comes with because I've drawn like this for a very long time, and it's comfortable, right? I don't know what people see when they look at my stuff, which is fine. But this was sort of like where I was having a lot of fun, and then we started getting into the Kirby, I call it Kirby, and I'm just trying to riff some of the anatomy and the really cool lines that he does. Man, I just wanted to show the cover. Where could that have been? Where would I have put that? Would I have downloaded it? Sorry about this, guys. 1 second. Oh, I can show you guys this. I haven't posted this yet. This is cool. Yeah, Chris, man, he nailed this. If you guys not following him on, let me actually get. Then we will get back to work, and I'll answer, and I'll look at the chat in a second. I just want to make sure I get his Instagram name right. I haven't posted this one yet. He posted it. I just haven't had a chance. Just been super busy trying to get work up. Chris Jones, superstar artist. Oh no, sorry, I always add superstar. Chris Jones, super artist, and I will open up his Instagram, show you guys. This guy, check him out. I just stumbled onto his stuff maybe a few months back. I love it. It's great. Check him out. Chris Jones, super artist. Okay, follow him. So he reached out and he's like, "Hey, do you want to do like a collab?" And I didn't have time to do coloring or anything like that. So he's got a book that he's working on. I don't know the name of it. I'm pretty sure. Obviously, this is Thor. I don't know if he's calling him Odin's son or something. He's like a 10-foot tall, just tank. This looks like Ryan Otley, Joe Mad. A lot like I love everything about this, and his coloring is awesome. And then there's my dude there, and then he had his color there. Great stuff, man. I love it. But I could bring up the inks for this too, but this is sort of, I guess, another direction. I'm like this Kirby kind of thing. I think it shows a little bit better with just inks, because then you can kind of really see it. Anyway, I really gotta get back to drawing. I'm all over the place, but that's where I'm at. I'm torn. I'm like, oh, what do I do? So you look at this stuff. This is a little bit more like the safe, comfortable stuff, and I didn't want to deviate too much from this for this project because I know there's people that are going to be coming back from the previous Kickstarter, and I want them to have a familiarity with the characters, right? I don't want them to go into it feeling like, oh, who are all these? It looks like a different artist is on there. I think it might be cool to show how I used to draw maybe I think 4 or 5 years ago, but it's the similar style kind of thing. Okay. Anyway, a really long-winded way of saying we're working on Godslayer. Makar, welcome. Lars, you're probably gone, but thanks, man. Richard, when I stream, I sometimes just go silent when I work. People are mostly just there to see me draw, not talk. I talk if there's a reason for it. Sure. Dino, pure ref shortcuts confused me at first, but it's really useful. Awesome. Glad you're getting some gains out of that. Jojo, welcome. Yeah, Euro answered it for you, buddy. This is Clip Studio Paint. We will be using Photoshop, though, for one of these drawings with backgrounds. I'm not a fan of drawing backgrounds, especially cities, so I cheese it. And we'll do some of that. Yes, that's my point. Now that we have all this time, maybe we can use it for old dusted projects. Yeah, your artwork has always been amazing. Well, thank you, dude. I appreciate that, especially your storytelling. Thank you, man. Glad inspiration. Thank you. For me, a title is really important. Yeah, I know. To even start a project. Interesting. Hey, Kevin, welcome. I just got your email. So were you able to get it all figured out? Oh, to answer your question, I realized I didn't answer it. This pen, I don't think that this definitely didn't come with my Cintiq. This came from the hell. I got the small one, and I think it came with 2 styluses, or I bought one or something. I forget how I got this one. This one works on here, so I got lucky. The reason I got this Cintiq so cheap is because it didn't come with that. And I knew I had an extra one, and I just hoped. I was like, if it doesn't work, maybe I can buy one, and we'll be okay. Seizure, welcome. Good to see all these familiar faces in here, too. Welcome, guys. Hey, man, okay, thanks. I hate reading all the flattery, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. It's not childish at all. Been watching you for years as an artist. Your work is original as hell. Never seen others do. Oh, thank you, man. Hey, no, okay, cool. All right, everybody's being too nice. Stop being nice. Okay, let's actually draw today. Does that sound good? All right, we need to draw 5 heroes. And I'm gonna do like some. I'm gonna call it classic '90s stuff, but if we just had them all like it's a bunch of balloons, just trying to make the storytelling super clear. So So instead of having them all like in dynamic poses or anything like that, maybe we could actually, hold on. What if we, no, that's too small. All right, so we'll put them here. And who's bigger? All right, she's probably like here. Who's in the front? Leader. Then we'll put armored dude. We got this forearm guy. He's a little bit bigger back here. And then the fast guy. All right, now let's turn this into some drawings, eh? All right, so let's do the leader first. Put her in the front. Leader. And then we got the Guardian. Guardian, I always thought, and I know you guys have no idea who the hell I'm talking about. That was sort of like an outcast. I don't know why. I always think of her as like Wolverine. A little bit. So we make her looking this way. This is Guardian. And then here we've got like our Iron Man guy. Brain. Maybe make him looking up a little bit. Got to give him a thick neck because he's a guy. Brain. Speedster guy we're drawing. Actually, would he be going back to it? Yeah. I guess if he's traveling in time, he'd see himself. So, let's keep talking about style because it's fun. Is there anything you guys wanted to talk about today? Anything on your mind? So the Patreon posts that I made at the start of the year, one of the things I was talking about was I wanted to pick one and stick with it. Because as you can tell, I like floating back and forth because I I get something out of each one. I get something out of each one that I can't get into the others. I forget who had suggested it, and it's a solid suggestion where it's like, well, why don't you take what you like from all of them and put them all into one? And like I said, it's a great potential solution. Sorry, let me just put my phone over here in case Elena needs me with the bibette. It's a great potential solution, and I tried a little bit of it, but I don't know. I can't do it. Can't get it to meld right. So I end up just floating back and forth, and like making, I don't want to say new projects or anything, but I'm always, maybe I'll draw like this today, draw like that. Yeah, and on Patreon too, I'm very fortunate. I have a few people that get commissions every month. And Euro, he's actually in the chat. I don't know if he's still in here. Wonderful guy. He asked me to do a whole bunch of RPG stuff. Actually, Euro, do you mind if you're still here? I'll post them. Some people don't like me sharing the commissions that they get me to draw, or they ask me to draw. But Euro, one of the things is when I was kind of drawing in that simpler style, I suppose. And I know I'm just talking in generalities with you guys. But he has a whole bunch of RPG characters and stuff that I was drawing, and once I was kind of like, I'm not sure, I might just stick with kind of what I'm drawing like today. I didn't want to go back and start changing the style that I was drawing any new stuff, so that all of his stuff that I was making for him would all combine and still work as a unit. Instead of looking like, most of you guys know that if you read comics, you open it up, X pages are like one artist and they turn into another one. I hate that. I can't stand that. Even with the covers, man, like you get like, I hate when the cover artist is better or looks better to me than the interior artist. Just drives me up a wall. I'd much rather have the same artist through the entire thing. So, why I'm saying all that is, even though I'm doing this stuff, I do have a couple things that I'm able to, draw in that other style, which has been great. But that's the thing, it's like I can't get away from it. it like reactivates the, oh man, this is good. There's something there. And even the Kirby kind of stuff that I've been doing, that one requires like a little bit more pencil work, I guess, because I got to solve a little bit more. Because with the Kirby stuff, like I'm actually inking. I feel like I'm actually this. I still consider like just penciling, because like look how sloppy this kind of stuff is, and it just gives us more flexibility to figure it out with the line arts and stuff like that. So like each project is whatever. And the other kicker too is once I actually start doing some pages, which will be pretty soon. I'm almost wrapping up with the plots. And once those are done, then we're going into the actual artwork and all that cool stuff, which is exciting. But with the newer stuff too, I haven't done as many comic pages as I have with this look. So with this look, I'm very confident and comfortable with like how a page will turn out and how I approach it. A lot more, like I say, flexibility I feel with this one. So doing a new project with a new look is like, it's going to take extra time to do because I haven't figured those things out yet. Like a cityscape. What does that look like? I haven't drawn a cityscape with a Kirby look or anything like that. So there's a lot of learning. Anyway, I'm rambling all over the place. Fire away. Okay. Lawrence, welcome, brother. Wreck the house as well. Haven't heard that one in a while. Okay, so I'll just bring this up too. I feel like we're just on a sharing spree. All right, we're going to go to, look at it. Euro, you're right here, buddy. Last folder. Maybe we'll just, there's a lot in here, man. Thank you for all your support too. Check this out. This guy's no joke. He likes his stuff. Okay, so when we first started, what was the first one I did for you? This guy, the elf. And I could be wrong, Euro. Feel free to correct me. This was a lot of, I think these are characters in his party, the people that he's playing with. So this style here, it's very quick. It's very quick, but I love it, man. Like there's a certain, this looks different than this guy, in my opinion. I know some of you guys say that there's overlap, and I'm glad you can see it. But like this kind of rendering, I love it. It's really cool. And it's fast too. I know I keep saying fast, but one of the benefits of speed, right, is you can get more out there. And one of the challenges of being an artist is making work. You know, like getting content out there. Here's another one, a gnome. And I was trying to like theme these off of like Baldur's Gate. I'm a big Baldur's Gate fan. And I always imagined these would be like the profile images you'd see in the game. You know, you get a bard here. All these kinds of cool things, and then I had a lot of fun doing these, man. You know, a little orc. There's a half orc sorcerer. So sorcerer. Who else? Okay, and then I was like, I wanted to brush up my coloring. Actually, Euro, you let me know, man. I apologize. I thought I had done this, but let me know. The color versions that I sent you, I can quickly change that to like with no work on my end. It's literally a couple layers to turn off, and then I can send them to you. If you want them grayscale so that they all actually go together, I thought I had sent those to you. I apologize. This one's a Dragonborn. This one was a lot of fun. I think we streamed this one too. And I always screw this one up. Aarakocra? Is that what it is? It's like the bird people. Right. It's cool, fun stuff. Like I'm able to get like these. This is one thing I'll say, even with the Kirby stuff. And I'll show you guys one other thing. The latest one that I just sent him for this month, and I actually had like a lot of fun with it, and that's why I'm talking about this. Because I'm like, oh man, this is. Anyway, is with this simple style. Do you see all this here? Like I know this just looks like scribble, but it's like so. There's like a feel to it when I'm putting it down. Like I'm still trying to understand it in my head, and there's a lot of complication. Like to me, there's things that look a little complicated in here. And it might look like a mess as well, but there's something refreshing about this that I feel like I cannot do this drawing like in this style. And I'm not saying this is bad at all. It's just one of those things, right? Where let's say you don't ink your drawing, like a lot of heavy blacks, and you can let the color do the work, and you just love the way that looks. But then you do like a Batman thing. Oh, okay, that's good. You do a Batman thing, and you want to add a lot of blacks to it. But that means you're not going to get the same color range because black is filled in there, and you can't put a shadow color in there. It's the same kind of things happening where I'm just like, man, I don't. I'm stuck. Oh, is it this one? Yeah, let me open up. So I, so here we go. So I guess we wanted to put me in the game as well as for fun. This was just Yura's been such a cool guy. I thought it'd be cool to just do something for him. So that's me here with extra portly portions for a dwarf. Whenever I play D&D or even when I play role playing games, I always pick a dwarf. But this is an artificer, and I wanted to give him like the big, chunky arm. But do you kind of see what I'm saying here? Let me turn the color off. We can just see the line art. Do you see how it's very, it's simple, but I get to scratch a couple things here. Like, obviously, ever since I've been going right into Kirby, a lot of this is just nonsense. I don't think I would ever ink this way, I suppose, usually, but there's something about it here that, for me, it works for me. And I get excited by it. I don't know if anybody else does. And it's simple, it's quick, but that argument that keeps coming up is, like I can draw it differently. And this might not highlight that, I suppose. I don't know how else to say it. But anyway, so this was a load of fun. And I don't want to show the one Euro game because I haven't replied to that yet. But what I thought would be cool, because I've seen people do this, and I haven't sadly had a chance to do this because I haven't had time to do D&D. But just a quick thing. You can print this out, right? You cut here and you fold it in half and you put one of these little like stands right in here. For those of you that do tabletop gaming, you know what I'm talking about, right? And then boom, now you got like a little character that you can move around. Very simple. I've seen people actually do this kind of thing and sell them. Like here's a monster pack you can buy for $1 or whatever, and it's got a whole bunch of different monsters. It's fun. It's really fun with that. But anyway, so this is one look too, right? I'm always interested in this one. And I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't say that on Instagram and stuff, like I check the likes from time to time. I try not to go into it too much because once you start really going towards like what people think, like what people like, then I guess people start determining what you should do. But a counter argument I had to that too is like if your audience likes something, just keep giving them what they like. But what's the cost? Like what you want to do? What I think it's like an art problem. Like art, and I'm clearly rambling about it right now, which is like there's that artist inside of you, the muse or whatever you guys want to call it, right? That's she doesn't shut up. She wants you to draw, and she wants you to have all these ideas. Wants you to be right all the time, and all the decisions you make are right. And then there's the other person which you should probably really listen to, which is, I'll call it the market. That's people, right? They like something you're doing. They want more of what you're doing. And if you can make money on it, even great, right? We all want to make money as an artist. If you can get paid to draw, great. Anyway, okay, I'm all over the place. Kevin, Kirby's cities were killer and really signature. And that's the thing, man. Like Kirby's look is just his, right? Nobody can rip it off. Oh, I mean, I guess there's things I'm doing to rip it off, but it just makes you think of Kirby's. Doesn't make you think of me. But his cityscape, I love them. They're simple. They're actually very hard to replicate. That's the beauty of Kirby, man. It looks simple. That's how you know you're a great artist, man. When you try to. Easy, Zelda. You have a nightmare? Cat nightmares, that's hilarious. I can turn them to grayscale, no problem, no worries, just in case my grayscale is different than shared. I appreciate. Oh, sure, okay. Here, let me make a note. I will do my best to get them to you today, my man. If I can't, tomorrow. Send Euro grayscale. Boom. Okay. Thank you, man. A Black Man Presents. Welcome. I know you've been here before because I laugh every time I read that name. There's less crowd. Oh, there's like no rendering, brother. It's great. The less rendering for me personally, like I remember. Actually, you know what? Will Robson, I hope you guys remember him. Big star, superstar, working at Marvel right now. Just wrapped up Spider-Ham. I was talking to him earlier in the week, and I don't like now that I have a little bit more free time, especially in the morning. I'm hoping we can get a couple scribble chats in. For those of you that remember that. And I remember he and I were talking a long time ago about like style. I think it's one of those things. Just as artists, you have no choice; you have to talk about it. And I remember I was talking about artists or comics or whatever we read when we were growing up. And I'm not a huge comic guy. Like I know he's a bigger comic guy than I am. And a lot of the '90s artists, Joe Mad's like my '90s artist. A lot of the other people I got into much later. I know he's a big McFarlane Capullo fan. I'm a fan of Capullo as well. But anyway, all those I'll call them older guys. They all like to render a lot, and it's fine. Gives it a look, right? Like a distinctive look. But I come from mostly a video game background. Like video games are what got me drawing. Ninja Turtles first. It might have been the cartoons and video games, not comics. Comics came much later. And what intrigues me about comics and still does to this day is it itches or it scratches that itch that I think a lot of artists have, which is it's just you, do whatever you want to do. You can color it if you wanted to, you could write it, you could do all those things, or you could get help, right? But I like world building and character design and all that stuff. So that's where I come from. So like all that's to say is the simpler kind of stuff without like the rendering and all that. I got taught how to do that. I remember I've told you guys about that before, and it comes pretty easy to me. And I'm not saying I'm great at it at all. Just the concept of how and why you do it. Once I was shown it, I was like, okay, practice it a little bit. Now I understand the broad concepts. Actually spending time to tighten it up was where I was kind of getting into a little like, it adds so much time. It looks great. And then it wasn't for a few years ago when Kirby started coming back into my radar. I was looking at it and trying to listen to as much as I could about the guy. It's a shame he's not with us anymore. But just that idea of like comic book artists are contract workers, like the more work you do, the more you get paid. And it just made me start thinking of things differently, right? Like same when I went to college with animation. There's not a lot of time for perfection, if any. You just got to get that stuff out the door. And then I try to think about how I read comics outside of looking at certain artists like Joe Mad and stuff where I just look over it because I love it. Most comics, I just read it and like that's it. Like once I'm done reading it, maybe I'll look at it again unless it really was like awesome stuff. But really, it's a storytelling medium, right? So that's really all that should matter is the story. Your art should move the story. And since I come from the interest of video games and cartoons, where it's the story is there, but it's the gameplay, it's the character design, it's look at the art a little bit more, spend more time with the art. It was like a conflict, I'd say. Sorry, just let me pull something up here. Forgot a design. So all that's to say is that's sort of or one of the main reasons why I always look at my stuff that I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like there's a lot of design going on here, but the rendering and all that it looks cool. Like it always looks cool. But to me, sometimes I think like less looks better. I don't know. And on the other hand, that's one of the benefits of art, right? There's so many different styles, which is perfect. Because there's something for everybody. Okay, her hair. What am I doing with her hair? I think I changed her hair up a bit. I'll fix her mouth. I don't like that. What the hell ever is going on there? Okay. Yeah, I finally caught up with my work for today. Awesome, buddy. Time to doodle with the his companion. All right. Please send it to me. I'm very curious as to see how that turns out, man. Also need to rush. We're all quarantined anyway. Yeah, well. More graphic like Magnola and I always say his name wrong. Oemining? Is that it? I believe you mentioned it before. I don't think I mentioned him. I can't even pronounce the guy's name, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I I don't think I mentioned him. Horrible. Okay, I'm gonna leave her up here because I need to remember what she looks like, especially when she's up in the front. This guy's costume is super simple. Here. Here, let's just flip it so we can get some fresh eyes on this. Yeah, I think we're okay. Alright, let's start pulling back. Just so we can see what the hell we're looking at. Do they fit in the portal? Yep. Okay. They fit within the crop. Yes. Okay, we're good. So it looks something like that. How's that look? Yeah, I go either way. I gotta put stuff in these ones too. I don't know what we're gonna put in here. I might actually start grabbing from the previous project. I know it might be a little cheesy, but we'll see how it goes. Line art. Alright. Trying to get in the habit of not zooming in too far. Yeah, with the one more point too, Black Man is what I was saying about heavy shadows and all that. If the story you're doing can be benefited by it, like Hellboy, we'll say, super simple, heavy blacks, then go ahead. I think I've seen I know I've seen Mignola's like Batman stuff, but he's still like a dark character. I don't know if I've ever seen him do Superman or anything. I think he did something, didn't he? But I don't know how well that would relate. And I think that might, now that I'm saying it, might be one of the things that makes me keep going back and forth between this stupid discussion that I seem to always be talking about. Because I'm always jumping around ideas for different stories, and they all work, or they might work with a certain look, right? All right, we'll keep going. We'll see how this goes. I don't want to noodle too much. Anyway. Put like a little breeze in here just to give some life to this. Hey, no problem, Lewis. Have a good day at work, brother. Stay safe out there. Hey, Paul, welcome, man. Haven't seen you in a while, brother. Afternoon, sir. He did do some issues of Superman back in the day, did he? Well, give me 1 second, everybody. Let's take a look at some Superman. Okay, so this is like a different Magnolia, eh? But he's doing all the same kind of thing. That's like, you know, he doesn't want to draw Superman here, eh? That's hilarious. That's a good looking. I like that Superman. That looks good. I love everything about this page. This looks great. It's more serious though. That's for sure. You see when you go here and he doesn't have like a lot of shadow. It's like he's a different guy. Is this even him? Yeah. Magnolia without shadow work is very weird. Let's get off this chair. Oops. Okay. I think it's working. I think we're alright. Let's finish our costume up anyway. It's all gonna get masked out. Alright, so we're gonna close up all the lines. Let me zoom in extra here. So you can see how disgusting this line art is too. Look at all the jitters. Ugh. Okay. So going here. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to close all the lines. And we're going to run an action that puts a contour line under here and a white knockout layer so that I can draw freely behind her and nothing will get affected. Where are you here? Current layer. Oh. Press our button. Cool. Actually, here, let's do this right. Okay, it's one person. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we'll do this guy next. What's his costume? What's that? You own one of those Superman pages you showed? Oh, really? Wow, damn. Okay. Relax. Take it easy, buddy. What was it like to look at that in person? Can hear Alexander laughing in the background. One of the perks of being at home. Euro, can you believe that your first Patreon commission for me was on March 22nd, 2016? It's been 4 years and I still have that badass help. Thank you, man. I think you're actually, I know Darren Boyle, who, he's in the chat from time to time. Nimrod, he goes as. He's been with me for a long time too, but I think Euro, you might be my longest patron. That bumps you up to like MVP status. I don't know what that means yet. But thank you, man. I do appreciate everything. And I try to remember it. Going forward. I still want to do something special for you. I'm not quite sure yet what we could do. Actually, here, I'll throw it out to you, brother. You let me know. Is there something I can do for you? And you don't have to be Canadian passive. No, it's okay. None of that kind of stuff. If there's something, you let me know. I do appreciate it. Man, I'm trying to grow. Okay, so you guys have probably seen me on stream before. We get a little personal with you. So I was growing the goatee, then we got the beard. Now Lena, like, I don't grow a mustache very well, but she wants to see it. So it's growing, and it's fucking itchy as hell, man. If anybody's got mustaches that's been growing one for a while, you know what I'm talking about. And the sides of your lips, it's like the hairs can kind of like, it always feels like there's something on my mouth, man. Piss me off. Okay. We don't need to draw Iron Man kind of thing here, too detailed. He's going to be cut off. Go here, make sure all the lines are closed. Alright, do the same thing. Grab our wand tool. And I'll show you while we're doing this in 1 second. For those of you that are new, that might not see this workflow. Again, I haven't said this in a long time. If you're interested in how I'm drawing, I highly recommend checking out the, I hope I don't get the name wrong, the DC Comics Guide to Digitally Drawing Comics by Freddie E. Williams. I'm doing pretty much verbatim how he works. And it's been great for me. So, as you can see, right, what I'm doing now, this is like a shape. And what this does is it almost makes your art non-destructible, which is what you would like to do digitally, because it lets you do that. Non-destructible means always saving it in a state that you can go back to. Whereas with pencil and ink on paper, you can't go back to how you started. There might be creative ways to do it, but like once you start going, like kind of like the no undo thing, right? Anyway, so if you got them grouped like that, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take her and I'm gonna put her on top, and now he's behind her, right? And what this lets us do is maybe I want to change the portal, bring it down more, or move her around to change the composition a little bit. That's what this allows us to do. That's why I like this method, even though everything we were just talking about before about different styles, those methods, you could still do this, 100%. But those methods feel a little bit more like traditional work, or I'd have this and I'm inking on the board or on the paper or on the screen, and you're not thinking about that. You're just thinking about it more in a traditional sense, treating digital as a very similar to working in paper. But this method allows you to kind of have a little bit of freedom working that way. Where are we at? Okay, let's get this character going. Hey, don't give me that. I'm just okay. All right, all right. Now everybody's gonna start hugging everybody. Black man, Oeming. Am I saying his name right? Oeming, or is it Emming? I don't know. Was switching between styles as well. Okay. He speaks about it in his art book, No Plan B. You can read that portion online. He talks about his decision to switch to the cartoony style he uses. Wow. Okay. Well, that's tickling some fancy. I will say this too. I'm just gonna take a second here to open it up and open it up in another tab because I want to read that. Not right now, but I will. Is one of the things that's always on my mind about style that I haven't really talked about too much is my day job. I do a lot of different styles, I'd say, at work. The majority of my illustration stuff at work would have been... Actually, here, I'll show you guys. And my argument is actually going to be pretty moot. I love that word, moot. It sounds so weird. In a second, once I show you this, let's go here. If you guys want to check out our latest game, Recipe Rescue Fruit Blast. There, let me just move over here. And we'll boot it up here just to show you guys. Okay, so I'm an admin. Can I test the button? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so this kind of thing here, this is when we would make our own games. Pretty much, I would say like 90% of what our stuff looks like. So all the little characters, little chibis and stuff like that. You guys have seen me do chibis a lot, but you see all this, the style it's looking like. A lot of you guys, I would hope, are familiar with Derek Loffman. He does a lot of this stuff too because he worked in mobile. This is like a mobile look, like mobile game kind of thing. Let me actually see. So like these UIs and stuff, like I made all of this stuff. The team put it together and all that, but I don't want to just say like off the top of my head I was able to create all this. Obviously it's a team effort. Color choice mostly on my shoulders with this, but Lucas is one of the new designers we brought on, who's also a programmer, and he's an awesome guy too, and he knows a lot of UI and what looks clean and looks good and stuff like that. But let me see here. Okay, I just want to see so you guys can kind of see a little more art, right? Like, so this kind of stuff, I'm hesitant to move into like the Kirby / even what I was showing you guys before with like the Dungeons and Dragons style that I was doing for Euro, because I feel like when I go to work I might not be able to apply that style because it doesn't look like JESOP King, we'll say, or the stuff I'm doing right now. And I have a feeling that it's because it's more detailed work that it looks more impressive, so it makes people think that, I don't want to say you're better than, how do I describe this? So like if you're drawing Mickey Mouse, and I'm just talking bluntly here, I'm not trying to prove like say this is fact, but Mickey Mouse next to Greg Capullo's Spawn. If you're to look at both, I have a feeling, an assumption that people would look at the Spawn and go, that's a better artist. That person is the epitome of like talent when it comes to art. And a lot of people scoff at the simplicity of Mickey Mouse, even though Mickey, like they both, it comes down to, I know they're both storytelling mediums and stuff, but they tell different things. And if you're an artist that's capable of both, it's very hard to go, I'm just going to focus on this one just to see where that goes. Even though they're both highly successful, something in my mind at least goes, the Capullo route makes you more desirable from people that would want to invest money into you to create product or create things for them. Video games, again, even though the majority of the stuff that I would do at work is the Mickey Mouse, we'll say, right? And I enjoy it. I actually enjoy it. It's a little bit more freeing, I would say, than doing the Capullo style. Do you get the argument I'm kind of making? And that's always in the back of my mind, again, where I'm saying, so it's like, if I'm doing like, I apologize for always going back to my, oh, check out my stuff here, guys. You know, but like these ones, this one too, like this Venom that I did, I think it's the most liked thing I've ever done so far, which is very cool. But it's different, right? Like it's not what you're seeing today. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe you guys see it a little different. But this is like the D&D kind of stuff that I was just showing you guys. And I enjoy it. I dig it a lot. There's a lot of things in there. Maybe I could tighten some things up. Maybe the anatomy's all wacky, but I think it's got the right level of wacky for me. But again, when I show this to somebody as opposed to, oops, is my site broken? Oh, because it's Tumblr. All right. Arguably, what I showed you there, as opposed to this, which I have a lot of fun doing. Interesting that my site's doing this. Okay, might be time to update the old site. That or, lastly, I would argue, what's the other one that a lot of people liked? Yeah, okay, we'll say this one, the Captain America here, right? Where this might look what you would assume like a Marvel DC style might look like, and therefore you think it's a more talented artist, if that makes sense. Do you see the dilemma? And I have an assumption that a lot of artists feel this way. At least artists like myself that are probably spending way too much time worrying about it than really needs to be done. Anyway, I just wanted to put it out there as something to like tickle your guys' brains because I can't be alone on that. Let me just make sure here. Okay, that. Oops. Oh, Emming. No plan B. Oh, now I know who the artist is. Okay, I never knew his name until I see his stuff. Quote. Actually, sorry, I'm just trying to find it. If you could find Black Man, the actual portion online that he's talking about, I really appreciate that. If you can't, that's cool too, brother. He's supposed to put no plan B. You can read a portion online. He talks about his decision. Okay, I'm just gonna highlight all of that. I'll try to find that later if I can't. Thanks, brother. No. There you go. Cool. You're gonna get some sweet sketches. This is immediately recognizable as Rector chibi style. Thank you, dude. I hope so. I'm the only one doing the chibis. Well, no, that's not true. We had Katie doing a little bit, and Ted, he did some as well. Just to add to your discussion about better artists, would someone say that Disney... Also, am I saying his name right? Oeming? Would someone say Disney, Oeming, Kirby, Tim, Mignola are better storytellers overall, so that they can be added to their toolbox? See, and that you might have just fixed the thing I was saying. Capullo, and I'm just using him because he's a really detailed, great storyteller too. Like he's awesome. I don't want to make it sound like he's not as whatever. I'm using him as an example. I'm a big fan of his stuff. Mickey Mouse might be telling better stories than a Capullo style detailed drawing. And I think that does definitely play into a lot of this stuff because I know egos run rampant in comics. It's art, right? It's a way to express yourself. And a lot of my, I would say, bad decisions or maybe attitude that I've tried to fix over the years stemmed from a little bit of competition between fellow artists. We're all fighting for the same contracts and stuff, right? Like we all want to feed ourselves and then move on to the next big thing. I would argue too that trying to use what I'm on now to build into the next big thing is a little bit of a negative, or it has been for me, or had been for me. It's not really the case anymore because I don't look at it that way anymore. But when Marvel and DC was really like my, all right, that's the crown jewel of where to go, because I decided to maybe pursue comics a little bit, even though I didn't pursue it that heavy at all. it narrowed my view of like art in story. So it was always like, okay, well, if I see people drawing one way, I got to draw at least like that, if not better. Does that make sense? Because I didn't like the cartoony stuff. Again, the video game cartoon stuff that I was looking at. It's not as, I like using that word, not as sexy. It doesn't look as, in my mind, desirable as somebody that's drawing like Jim Lee or Joe Mad. Even Joe Mad, though, I would say he's the exception to the rule. And I think that's why so many people like him. I could be wrong, but it's that he doesn't look necessarily like a traditional Marvel artist. Maybe his early stuff does, but it's got that flair of Japanese that everybody was growing up with Capcom and Street Fighter and stuff back in the day, and you'd see it and you're like, there's something fresh there. You're getting that mix of video game and comic. It's good stuff. Now everybody kind of draws that way. Anyway, I'm all over the place. Oh, thank you, Black Man. I appreciate that. Lawrence, have you done Jessup King in that style yet? Donald, welcome in. I think I did. I think I tried it. Maybe I didn't. 1 second. Let's check. If it's not in here. What was that? Maybe not. I wanted to say yes, but I guess not. Huh. Okay, well, I've done enough drawings where, like, in my mind, I had done them. I know how it looks, and I don't mind it. Anyway. John, do you have any Discord account or Pinterest? I do have a Pinterest. I think you should just be able to search my name and you should be able to find all my boards and stuff. The public boards I have anyway. Discord, no. I was asking on Twitter a little while ago if there was like art places people were going. And I found one, but it was kind of, I don't know, the people there, I say this politely. Amateur artists or hobby artists, where I think it's just art you draw and you just want other people that do that to talk to, as opposed to people that are taking it, not that they aren't, but people that are taking it seriously, and you're talking about the industry or you're talking about crap that's going on or like real things, right? Like, guys, I'm struggling with this 9-panel grid. I didn't see any of that kind of talk, and I was like, okay, so that's not where I want to be. So I haven't found one. I don't want to start one. I don't want to spread my attention too far. I'd rather be making stuff. This outlet here on YouTube with streaming is pretty much how I communicate with you guys. But like I say, if you're on Twitter, Facebook, anywhere, I'm pretty much in a lot of places. You should be able to reach me pretty easily. I'm usually an open book. If you have a question or anything, just shoot me a message and I'll get back to you. It's sorry for the sniffling in the mic all the time. Grossing you guys out. Black Man, do a search for Oming decides on drawing style. One of the links is for Google Books, page 9, paragraph 1. Okay. 1 second, guys. Support on Google? No. Oh, I'm okay. Naturally, it's not working. Cool. I'm not finding it. I'll have to do a little deeper look. Sorry to make you work so much, man. If you can't post anything in the chat, maybe you could send me a message on Twitter or Facebook or something. I'll get it that way. But thank you. I'll have to. If you can't, that's cool. I'll just have to look later today. I made a note to go read it, but thank you. I do appreciate it. Any like, especially something like that that's on topic. Why a detail? I'd like to see his detailed work actually, because I'm not too familiar with his stuff. But anybody that decides to go simpler when they draw more detailed kind of stuff, I'm interested. I'm interested in that. Like even Doug Tenaple, I remember watching. Oh man, this would have been a few years back. Anyway, he had a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube. I think they're still up there. Where he was talking. I was trying to. I've told this story before. I was trying to find how he wrote stories, like how he broke it down. And I figured out some of it. I know the guy's going to do his own thing. I'm not going to be able to riff it off completely. But it was an interesting workflow. That's why I wanted to find out more about it. And as I was going down there, I remember him talking, and I know the video's up there because I just recently rewatched it. It's him looking nonchalant, right in front of the camera with the cigarette. And he was just saying, he was talking about drawing, like detailed and style, and kind of like why he draws the way he draws. And for better or worse, whether you like him or not, that doesn't matter. But he considers himself a storyteller, right? And he's got a lot of stories to tell. And he was kind of talking about the digital versus analog stuff, like why he was deciding to do a book. I think it was Ghostopolis, for those that want to watch it, on Manga Studio instead of doing it traditional. And I believe, I'm paraphrasing, he's doing that because he wants to see how much faster it allows him to make a story, because he's got more stories in him than he does have the time to draw them. That was an interesting perspective. So if you spend a lot of time drawing really beautiful comic pages and you need like 40 to 200 in a book, it's going to take a long time. So if you can find ways of minimizing how long it takes you to do a book, you can tell more stories, right? There's no rocket science there, but that is the thing that I've never forgotten. And to this day, I always battle it. I'm like, but I can draw some really nice looking stuff. To me, anyway, right? Like that I look at and I go, wow, that's detailed. That's cool. I did that. That's nice. Have a little pride in what you do. But in the back of my mind, it's like, yeah, but, you're not making books. You're just making really pretty looking things. So I've never forgotten about that. And that, again, pushes me more into the side of like, all right, stop worrying so much about, I guess, impressing people with how cool your stuff looks. Just tell cool stories. And arguably, too, I guess, like, if you're doing comics, right, like, that is all it is. That is all you're doing is telling stories. So tell as many stories as you can. How does that look? Yeah, I think we're all right. Jack Ripper, welcome, brother. Hey, thoughts on Diamond shutting down? Okay, so actually, thank you for bringing that up. I casually saw somebody tweet something about them. I thought it had just something to do with the virus. Like, I'm sure that might have been why they shut down. But I thought it was just like a temporary thing. Are they like done for good? Because if they're done for good, that's huge, right? And some context too for you guys, right? I'm not the biggest comic book reader. I read some comics. I mostly check out video game news, that kind of stuff. That's where my interest in art goes. I love making comics with like that style of drawing. There's a freedom in it, but I'm not up to date with comics. I don't know if I ever will be. Even when we start making our own, probably change. I know it makes a lot of sense to stay involved in the field you're kind of doing work in. But yeah, Diamond shutting down, like that's massive, right? Like, isn't that how Marvel and DC pretty much make their money on? I know there's not a lot of money comics. I know that, but isn't that pretty much how people get Marvel and DC? How else will people get their comics? Directly from these companies? I'm hoping you have some answers. Because on the outset, that's disruptive. That's bad. That's not good. And a caveat: I haven't really read Marvel either in a long time. I got the Unlimited app. If you got an iPad, especially if you got an iPad Pro, I recommend getting the Marvel Unlimited app. The amount of screenshots of pages I've taken for high resolution for reference, oh yeah, that's worth it. That's very worth it. But yeah, I haven't really read too many good things from Marvel in a while. And I don't want to sound salty, but I don't know. I was actually using it the other day, reading up some, go figure, some Jack Kirby. And I wanted to actually go and, I don't know how far back their Steve Ditko stuff goes, but like actually go back to the beginning of Spider-Man and read it. I was watching a John Romita Sr. It was some documentary about him and Spider-Man, and he was talking about Ditko, and that's what he did. I don't think I've ever really read too much Ditko stuff. I've read the first issue of Spider-Man and stuff, but he's cool, but he's not like my hero. He's not the guy that gets me excited for comics. The cartoon was amazing though. Spider-Man comic or cartoon, whew, good stuff. Announcement reads as indefinite amount of time, so who knows? Okay, so it could just be the virus thing. That's what I feel like a lot of companies are, man. Like the longer this goes, things are just gonna start getting swallowed up. Scary stuff. Do you guys remember the beginning of the Lord of the Rings, the movie? The movie. There's like Galadriel talking. The world has changed. I could feel it in the water. It's happening. The Dark Lord is coming back. Okay, he's done. Let's grab our magic. Do a little button press there. What time is it? I really gotta start moving here. I gotta finish like all of the line art for these today. Okay, these guys are too close. Come on, guys. Come on. I know you're friendly, but alright. I'm gonna have to change the portal shape. Okay, so we're gonna go there. Alright, so we got them. Let's save it. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna group all these guys up. Call it portal. Minimize it. We're gonna mask it. Turn that off. We're gonna drop the opacity. Whoopsh. Turn all that crap off. Okay, so now I can kind of see where they are, and we're gonna start masking. And I don't care too much about this because we're gonna fill it in with black. So make sure that they're not spilling out past it. This guy's hand should be. Actually, is his hand in the front? That doesn't make much sense. Okay, let's not do that. There we go. Sweet. Not sweet. Need to get this line. There we go. we got to have some stuff in here. So what I'm going to do, like I said, I want to speed this up here. Because what's in these portals doesn't really matter too much. So let's have, let's close this up. All right, we're going to open up the first book. Could make some sense, right? Going back in time to the old book. That's my justification for it. All right, what do we got here? Concepts, thumbnails, inks. Not even line art? It's weird. Heroes. Actually, what makes a lot of sense is I've already got colored versions, right? Let's do that. Color. I did this book back when it was Manga Studio. Not Clip Studio, but Manga Studio. That's a long time ago. Alright, I'll grab this one. There's a lot going on in this one. Yeesh. Look at my old coloring. Very dark. It's very hard to see. So we're gonna lighten that up. Alright, let's get... Might be able to use this one twice, actually. I know it sounds a little greasy, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, we can rotate it here. Get this big smoke monster. It's kind of cool. There. Bear with me, my friends. Alright, we're gonna go here. Delete all that. Then we're going to layer, new correction layer, levels. Alright, we gotta really crank up that brightness. Let me just look at the second monitor here. Alright, that's fine. Okay, put one there. And oops. Just trying to see what's going to get me the biggest real estate. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. No, it's not. Right, let's bring this one up too. Man, I drew really dark back in the day. Holy smokes. If you're watching, Kyle, I apologize, dude. We're all learning, huh? Jack, Comicsgate has seen a lot of success and money. Perhaps Indiegogo is the way to go until the marketing stabilizes. I don't see the direct market surviving this though. Yeah, like I don't know too much. Like I said, I've only followed so many things. I know my world has changed from this. Like I made a tweet about it. You know, I was being open. I got laid off. The virus so far, like just I don't know all the details I can give, so I'm not gonna just start airing laundry and stuff. But there's no ill will or anything. Business is business. But the market we were kind of steering the ship into not doing great. And the longer this goes on, it's like I feel for everybody that's still there. And I mean, from what I've been told, right? Like if this picks back up, we can just business as usual, which is awesome to hear, and I hope that happens. I don't hope for the opposite. I hope you know, obviously I hope everybody gets to keep their job and their livelihood and how things have been going. I don't want the opposite for people at all. But design in a game studio, usually the first to get axed anyways, right? I would say artists are the most disposable. I don't mean that in like a negative way, but there's so many people that can draw out there. So getting somebody else back on board that can draw, it's probably pretty easy. I guess the only price you're paying is like I've been there for what would it be, 8 years now? Something like that, right? So like I've got that experience with the team and like how our workflow works. So that could be, it's good, it's positive, but I could see the argument for the other side too, right? Where you get somebody fresh, you can start new with them and do that kind of thing. But yeah, so like I've been affected by it big time. So that's why, like what you're saying, the Indiegogo and stuff, Comicsgate, regardless. Um, a lot of Comicsgate cats have reached out to me, and I do appreciate each and every one of you for doing so. Providing help and tips and maybe some thoughts and some ideas, and that's all great. Let me know if Elena just turned the vacuum on, so if you guys can't hear me, let me know. I'll try to talk past it. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on, and like I say, I obviously hope I can return. But I can't wait around for that to happen. I have to still do what I can to make sure I'm feeding my family and what the future looks like for everybody, especially now that I've got a, little baby Alexander to worry about, or a fiance, family stuff. Things that pretty much everybody's got to deal with during all this, so it is what it is. But golden opportunities, right? Got to look at the silver lining and things. What I'm trying to look at is it's giving me a lot of time to be able to do this right here. Because maybe there could be something here, right? And in the absolute worst case scenario is if everything gets swallowed up. I think taking action now to be doing stuff makes a lot of sense. I could springboard in from this into something as opposed to just sitting around waiting, which I'm not a guy that could just sit around and wait. I feel like you're just putting a nail in your coffin doing that. So, yeah, that's what's going on over here. But yeah, Indiegogo sounds like it's a comics. What's a good way of saying a comic book? A comic book. Renaissance sounds a little pushed. I haven't even started in this doing anything yet, so I don't even know what that world looks like. I've considered. I know Donald. He's a very vocal Comicsgate guy, and I don't look at that as a negative at all. To me, he's been a nice guy. He's been a great guy. He's been helping me. He's given me some things to think about and stuff, which is great. Aside from Comicsgate, but the Comicsgate model, 48 pages. I've heard people selling comics for $20-$30, and I'm just like, man, that's so. I don't think I'd ever do that myself, but people are doing it. And then when I start looking at just the rough numbers that I've been hearing with shipping and trying to make a little bit of a profit for yourself, I'm like, I understand it. I get it. It makes a lot of sense to me. It's just a little hard sometimes to go. I don't understand until you look at it. But sorry, where I was rambling with that. So JESOP King's already done the first story anyway, right? So I've been told, I guess would be a good way of saying it. Maybe look into making that the first one, since the work's already done. It's a pure learning experience from there, right? Even if it flops, which is okay. It's doing nothing anyway, right? It's for free. It'll always be for free online. Even if I were, to make a Kickstarter or a Indiegogo for it, I would always keep it up for free. I would never take that away. Just if people want a print version, right? One of the hesitations I have, because I always have reservations, it's just the guy I am, is the format for that book was for web and mobile. So it's I think is it a square? It's a 8.5 by 11. I should say. So actually, the one book that I did, is it here? I put that back. I put it back. With James Thompson, Mr. Tree, he goes by online, and I showed you guys with it. The Rusty King book. That's about that size. So it's not 8.5 by 11. So I'm like, I don't know if people get weird about odd size comic pages. But all that is it's me in my own head again, right? Giving me reasons why I shouldn't do something. So never listen to that guy. Alright, let me put that there. Cool. All right. See, it's coming together. It's easy when you just start ripping artwork from previous things you've done. All right, what I'm going to do in these ones, I don't know yet. I'm going to leave them for inking. I don't want to take too much time worrying about just that yet. There's going to be lightning effects and speed lines and all that. That's all when we get to inking. We don't need that now. So how's it look? It looks something like that. Cool. Okay, on to the next one. Just like that. All right, close that up. What's not that one? Not that one. Do not save. Oops. All right, now this one, we got a city background. Got a lot going on in this one. We got a really cool figure we can draw too. So, so this would be rough. We can do line art. Okay, so the first thing we're going to worry about is our background. There we go. I'm going to put a perspective grid down first here. Just makes it a little easier. Alright, so I kind of had in mind, let me just zoom out a bit, like a 1-point perspective, probably around his eyes. We'll keep it on the page. There we go. So if we're going here. Alright, let's try this. Oh wow, okay, that's not what to do, a symmetrical ruler. Why? Maybe I clicked the wrong thing. Let me try that again. Yeah, I hit the wrong thing. Alright, so we're going to go there. And I think... Oh, no, sorry. I'm going to be talking a lot to myself here, guys. Sorry. Object. This thing's all wacky. Rotate, please. There we go. That's what we want. You. Stay in the middle. Right? Was that too tilted? Yeah. Let's go here. Go there. And then I want to make the lines go like this. I don't know how this is going to work here. One sec. I know there's a... we could turn a grid on. Just so I can see what the hell we're looking at right now. Oh, I can't see it over here. Cool. Hey, Nimrod, how's it going? No, you're not too late. We're doing some long-ass streams going forward, buddy. Buckle in. My coffee's getting cold. Ugh. Okay, so pending Elena needing me, well, my day goes from 7 till noon-ish. Break for lunch for an hour so I can take Alexander to give her a break, and then come back from 1 till 4:30. Ideally, I'm streaming the whole time. Just keep in contact with you guys. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Man, I'm on like cup number 3. Get that cold coffee breath. Ugh. Well, actually, here, I'm going to throw this out to you guys because I just want to wake everybody up for a second here because I'm going to have another question. We're going to go back to the style stuff so you guys can all roll your eyes, okay? If you're in the chat, okay, and I realize some people might want to be discreet. You don't want to know. You don't want me to know you're here. That's fine. Just type something in the chat. A number, a letter. I just want to see how many people are actually willing to participate in a test. and go. This is where we get like 2 people. Alright, what I'm going to do here is we're going to turn off all this grid. And go back to our brush. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we'll actually go here. So with this software, you can obviously make a perspective grid very easily. And it'll lock and it'll do all that fun stuff. I still like to work in a traditional sense of drawing in my grid with some different colors so my brain can still see it through all that mess. Totally don't have to do this. You could use that grid that I already showed you. I like just using that grid, again, because sometimes it can get really hard to see stuff. Alright, what do we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew. Look at you guys. Alright. Love you guys. Okay, so the test. Maybe let's make it so it's not all about me, okay? How do I word this one? I know it's more about the personal decision again, but the style stuff. Would you guys, if you were going 100% indie, we'll say, maybe you'll work with people. If people give you cash to work on their projects, wonderful, right? But let's just say you're going 100% yourself. Would you, with the goal being to make a whole bunch of comics, okay? Would you go with a slower, more detailed style? That's letter A. Or would you go with a simpler style so you could tell more stories? That would be B. With the caveat being you can't go back, you have to stick with one. So A is it takes you longer to draw those comic books, but they look more draftsman-like, more detail, more rendering, more production. Or B, it's quicker, still looks good, and you can tell more stories. A or B? I'm just interested in what the collective thinks, and I don't want to. Well, I'll show you. No, I won't. I was gonna say I'll show you my stuff, but I want you to be in your own styles. If you were to just do that, and if you wanted to add Y, even better. If you didn't, that's cool. Boom, 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 boom. Do a straw poll. Can you do a straw poll? My God, guys, 1 second. Euro is analytics. How do we do a poll? Everybody's going B. Jesus. Okay. Well, actually, I just want to see. Can you do a poll? Oh, it's a website. You do a straw poll, right? That's what it was. All those cool kids on Twitch do it, right? Stray kids. No, straw poll. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Okay, so here I'm going to post it. There you go. I will read what you guys all said, and I'll check that poll in a second, but I'll be right back. 5 or 10 minutes. I'm just going to go give Elena a break with Alexander. He's a handful. All right, I'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, let's bring it back. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me just catch up with you guys, and then I'll go check out that straw poll. Okay, so everybody was saying, what was it? That's funny. I haven't checked the poll yet, but everybody was saying they would rather go with a simpler style to get more work done as opposed to detail. Interesting. Let me just see what some of you guys are saying. Envy saying B with a set turnaround time, leaving a period for. So yeah. Sorry. So it's not super. I'm going to ask you guys again too, because I just always like doing this. I'll give you guys another poll. We're gonna be doing so many polls now. This is gonna be great. Of this in practice, at least for myself. There. Jack Ripper saying hard choice. I would say you can do more detailed style for short story, but definitely B for larger projects. I love detailed drawings, but I like good story more. Sure. Kevin, you're probably gone, but thanks for popping in, buddy. Kevin's looking for inking work as well, so if anybody needs an inker, Kevin Phillips on Facebook. Go check him out. Okay, let me go check the straw poll. It's probably the exact same, right? Oh, results. Wrong button. So we had 5 people vote. And everybody said the same thing. Simpler detail, less quality, telling more comics overall. It's funny, I remember, I'm going to put one more poll here. We will get back to drawing. And I remember Will and I were talking about this, where it was, it's kind of why we got rid of adding a lot of shadows to our work and letting the colors do all the work. One, it hid all the hard work we were putting into the artwork. If you got a colorist that did darker tones and stuff like rendering and all that, used to just disappear. So it's like the less shadows and rendering you put in there, the colors can really highlight the work and it just looks better overall. Oh, you can actually see this thing in real time. Sweet. So somebody else just voted for higher detail, higher quality. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's make one more. This one we're going to have 3. And let me bring it up for you guys. All right, let me create the poll. And we'll get the URL. And I'll post it in the chat in a second. Okay, and this is, I've asked this question a bajillion times. But it's fun to do. I'm not going to try to get the best examples here. But I think these show what I'm trying to talk about here. What would be good? Okay, so we'll bring. It's not gonna. I don't want to sway votes, so I'm trying not to look at like, oh, this is like what I think is a cool picture. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, get that one, and we'll open. Open up that one. I hope this shows up on stream. I'll double check it here. I don't mean to make this super complicated. And then the third one would be where's sure. This third one here. Okay, so ABC right across the screen here. Whoops. All right, so first one's A, then B, then C. Is it showing up okay for you guys? Let's see. I know my face is covering up a whole bunch. There you go. And again, this is more curiosity for me. So, in context of that last question, if we're looking for simpler style or whatever, maybe you guys will gravitate to one or the other. This is more, I guess, what do you just like? A, B, or C? You can dump it in there. This is just more food for thought for me. I think it's more of a boost to decision making when I know more and more people are saying certain things. Because I'd be lying if I didn't say, like, I definitely want to sort of. It's all me drawing my own thing, and like I said before, there's energy and different feelings you get from them. But the market, I'm not saying you guys are the ones that would be buying things necessarily, but you guys are fans and stuff like that. So I do like to take into consideration what you guys and people in general say, because I'd rather make things that people are interested in, as opposed to what I think is good, putting it out there and then hoping it works, if that makes sense. I really want you to read the OMing statement, but I'm not able to add an embedded link to the webpage. Damn. Uh, well, what you could try doing, right? Like, let me see. I might be able to get away with this. If you're to put like W space W space W space dot, and then like a whole bunch of this, like that could work, and I could just get rid of the spaces, if that makes sense. You could try that. All right, so we got the votes coming in. I'll come back in a second. Ben, oh, so I'm just gonna call you Ben. There's no way my tongue's gonna be able to roll the right way to get the other part there. You're saying you really love Jessup King style. Jessup King, I would argue, is more on the is A more. It's A without the shading. B, this would be my Kirby Tim style, Bruce Tim, and then C is my, I'd say, Kirby Kirby Corey Lewis sort of style. Really blown out stuff. I really personally, I'm a big fan of B and C because it's new. I've done that for so many years now. Feels very comfortable. But B and C, I think it's fresh. There's an energy here that I can't really get with A. Like, to me, A, and I'm just criticizing on the fly here. A, it looks more like, in my opinion, somebody that can draw. Right? You got nice anatomy. It's dynamic. Whereas Silver Surfer here, and I'm not picking the best examples, just what I have. Silver Surfer, right? Like, you can get silly looking anatomy, and that's where arguably it could go into the person doesn't know how to draw argument, which I've heard a bunch of times, and I understand it. But there's something there, and arguably they all, once I add the way I color on top of them, they punch and they feel a little different. So that could sway things too. The inks, because I wouldn't just have it at here, and I'm not trying to argue a point as to why one would be better than the other. I suppose just, I guess, an argument in general. But I do, again, even based off the previous question I was asking, I understand why people would be more interested in this direction. I feel like it because it feels more like a serious artist, I guess. Anna? Okay, I'll call you Anna. Welcome. That'll be an easier way to say it. Lawrence, my bad. What are we voting for? Oh, it was the styles that you saw there. A, B, or C. Which one do you like more? And it's funny because like the results right now. Welcome, Johnny. The results right now. I'll just bring them over here. You guys should probably all see it too. A, 43. Kirby kind of look is 43, which is actually very interesting to me. And C, only one person liked it. Only one person. Okay. Let's bring this back up. Okay. We got our grid now. Okay, I don't really care about the grid. Yeah, we do care about the grid. We always care about the grid. Oh, and for context, somebody else just messaged me off camera here. The reason I was showing that stuff is the personal project stuff that I'm doing afterwards, and even I guess for clients too. I'd like to, in my mind, kind of going towards the simple kind of stuff. Anna is saying from left to right ABC. Yeah, which one do you? Thank you. And Lawrence is another one saying for B. Interesting. Very interesting. Wonder if B is like feels like the mix between the two, right? Like, let me give you guys some more examples of B. Of B. Okay, so here's the Silver Surfer 2, just for context. Once we get some color on there, right? Feels more poppy, right? But you can obviously play around with color, and you can manipulate images to make them look a little bit more the way you want to go. What other examples do we have? Actually, you know what? Instagram is probably the best way. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it. I got it open up in the side here. So, Godslayer here too, right? This would be B as well. I tried running this Photoshop thing I purchased. Oh, okay. Let's hope we can see a little bit bigger. To give it like these screen pan tones. I like it a lot, but I think the comic will look better drawn, colored anyway, the way that I normally color. Then there's this one. This is, again, that same style. There's an energy to this, which I dig, and a sloppiness, which I really like. And I would argue it is very fast, too. So maybe it's just like it feels like a little bit more like a combo between the two. This here would be what I would consider the A style, and again, I think it looks more like 90s style, I guess, right? Like there's rendering, it looks really cool. There's big. What did we do here? We did John Romita Jr. style. I was practicing that, like some rendering and building up. I love it. You know, it's got like a really cool 90s vibe, which I dig. But it doesn't, and I'm just talking. I'm just spit talking with you guys too, right? If you guys got input, go ahead. I'm just looking for things that kind of scratch itches and something that I can produce stuff quicker. Here's when I spent a little bit more, I don't know, whatever. But like the anatomy's all wacky, and I'm trying to purposely do that. Again, that's why I say I think it's the combo between the two, right? Like that shoulder doesn't really work that way. But it's fine. I think when I look at it, it's fine. It moves, right? But you get to do really cool, weird things. Like if you look right here, where the wrist is, like on this side, muscles don't work like that. But when you're kind of working in the Kirby style, I guess, it does. It looks good, looks strong. And the one thing for sure is a lot of the Kirby stuff looks really good when when nobody's really wearing anything other than like human skin, and you put lines to differentiate where like costume elements would be. We did the Black Panther there too. This guy. A lot of people seem to dig this one, which I was very happy to hear too. Right, this kind of thing. Right? And I'm interested too because I did ask on Twitter. Twitter's like I've been trying to go on Twitter a lot more to ask questions from people. Just asking like why don't we see more, or maybe we do and I'm just not aware of them, like people that are kind of influencing Kirby, and I have to imagine it's a lot of cats don't like his fucky anatomy, I like to call it. Like this here, this was just a sketch with a Pentel pocket brush, but like you see this shape. This is looking at Bruce Timm and trying to think of this like this is all one shape all the way down to the elbow, and then you get it in there, and then you get to slap the Kirby in there. That's where the shoulder is. That's where the tricep is. You fill it in, and you can't really do this any other way. Like in the A style, I can't do that because this that's the beauty of working with a pen, I guess, right? Like you kind of, or like a pressure sensitive brush. You're able to pull and push and pull lines to get effects. Neck muscles make no sense, but it works. I think it works anyway. But I can understand and appreciate why people would look at it and go like, no thanks. Same thing here with Thor, right? Like look at this arm all the way here. Like this is an animation thing. Kirby doesn't do this. I would say Bruce Timm does this more from an animation standpoint. So there's a mix, right? Where it comes, it's just a line. It's just a shape. One smooth line on the outside, then complicated lines on the inside. Throw in some Kirby stuff, right? Like, okay, I guess that's a tricep, and your brain will fill it in. Look at that! Look at that hand. Like what? It's just, but it's fine. You know, it's a lot of fun to work this way too. But again, this is what kind of goes into like that argument I was saying before. of, I guess, the fear I have, and I apparently have a fear of everything, is once I start doing a lot of this kind of work, this is what you get known for, and I wonder if it takes away from the potential of being able to get other work by doing it a different way. The other counter argument is maybe we need more of this kind of thing, and people are actually looking for this, and I'm not getting clients or people that are interested in this thing because I'm not making it. You see? And it's funny because like that's the catch-22. There's no right or wrong. So you kind of have to trust, I guess, your gut instinct, but also listen to people, and that's why I'm asking you guys a lot of this stuff too, because you're people, right? You're the cats that I'm interested in hearing more from, how this kind of thing affects you guys, and do you actually have a preference? Maybe you don't, and that's cool too, right? Okay, let me think here. The web page name is, oh sorry, okay, let me just catch up here. And we will draw. I know I keep saying that. I got to get better at that with these streams. Do I need to put something in front of this URL that you sent me, bud? The actual web page name is long. It doesn't all fit in the chat. Oh, okay, okay. You're going to send another part. Okay. Black man is... This guy is doing work for me today, guys. Let's all give him like a little... Let's all give him some hand emojis in the chat, man. Thank you, dude, for working so hard to get me this link. You guys are awesome. Just bring that down, bring that down, bring that down. Okay, I don't want to look at this anymore. There we go. Okay. Project. I really like the Loki piece you did a few. Thanks, man. Actually, let's bring that up. This is now we've got into full. Hey, let's just look at art. Let's just. Streams always end up doing this. Let's go back. The Loki one too is very much. I say Kirby, but it's more Bruce Timm. Once I was looking at a lot of Bruce Timm. This one right here is what he's talking about. Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. Lower the opacity. This is the Bruce Timm stuff. Right? Is I guess we could open up the actual file, but that's an arm. What the hell shape is that? Right? Now, without looking at that here, let me just put this in here and I'll show you guys. This is what's cool, right? So you just kind of, let's do that. All right, so you got that, right? So if you want, we could just go, okay, what side do we want like rendering on, right? Like let's say it's all on this side, so we're gonna put the shadows, right? You can go, okay, let's go here, let's get a bicep, maybe get some forearms, right? Like it doesn't make a lot of sense. I can go ahead, I can add that shoulder here, I can add this, I can... You see what I just did? Like it adds all this muscle on rendering, but it's not anything, right? It's just shapes. And the only argument I would have for this is this gets away from the thing, and maybe I need to figure out how to add this, and this is the secret sauce that I'm missing for me, is this gets away from how I like to draw big, chunky muscle men. Right? Like, look at these shapes. What the hell is all this? Eesh. But you can add some stuff. Let's all get some shadow under there. Cool, right? Now the muscle dudes, right? Like, it's like, if we were to do it rough, right? Maybe you'd have a head. And you got to think of it a little bit different. Maybe we just get some... Sean Galloway does a lot of this stuff too, which is a really good artist to look at. But I would argue you need to go simpler than he does. But like this kind of shape here, you can have some fun with the shapes, right? I think anytime you can get fun with shapes, you're going to get an interesting style. And I'm not worrying about the face detail, right? But this would be all I would need, really. And that's kind of what I like about this look, is I'm able to like hammer out a gesture. Gesture is really all that kind of matters. And then sort of like figure it out, right? So like, I'm not going to go too deep here. All right, so we'll go, okay, let's go here. Let's go here. Let's bring it here. I'm trying to think of big muscle dudes. And I'll show you a different example of this in a second here, right? So, boom, okay. Got a big muscle guy. So if we turn that off, that's all we're stuck with, right? But so long as we keep this here, all right, well, let's figure out where we can put some detail here. Maybe we're going to go shadow here, get a big bicep. And I'm being real loose. Maybe the abs will go here, so we're just going to put some of that in there. Get to do a lot of that right there. Right, you're just kind of figuring that out. And then I like to add the other Kirby thing, right? Is like, let's fix this. A little bit of like render lines just to maybe get some extra movement. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? Like, that's how quick this kind of thing is, and I like it. It's cool. However, the other side of it is like, okay, but what if we use this brush? If we were to do kind of like the Capcom style stuff that I always call it, right? What Capcom does, and this is what I really like, and most of you guys know me from doing this kind of thing, is I'm able to get like big old chunky, big beefy muscles this way, right? Big blocky chunks. Get in a pec, right? Getting those big old rib cage, the pecs. You see what I'm saying? Like, you guys know there's a difference between the two, right? This feels, again, and whatever, and I'm gonna catch back up here with you guys. This feels safe. This feels normal, right? Like I can do this kind of thing and add the shading and all that cool stuff, and maybe do a little bit of rendering like that if we wanted to, or do like some Finch rendering. Whatever you want to do. You can always dress this up. But it takes time, obviously. Whereas this one, and I know it's super simple, like this is like very quick. Anyway, so that's all that's to say. But at the end, I can still get somewhere that looks, like there's an energy here that I can't get the same energy when I'm adding chunks like this. The reason for that is your eye stops and goes. Like each time the line dips, and you have to look at the detail here, whereas this one's just get the idea across, go. Right? Like this is storytelling is what this is. Not that the other one necessarily isn't, but this is, I would argue, easier. Kind of like cartoons. Cartoons, you're able to tell a story quicker as opposed to high drama where it's like, oh, did you see the 5 people in the background? Or you're asking people to really look like a Where's Waldo sort of thing. And we are drifting today. Thank you, guys. Thank you from... Elena's fired up out back there. Okay. Let me go here. Black man. Page 8, last paragraph through page 9. Sorry, brother. I only got like the first thing you sent there, that WC link. I think you forgot to send the second one. Or if there's another one, I didn't get that one. Thank you, man, for trying to help me out here. This look really works for you. Hey, Donald, thanks, man. Which one was that? Sorry, I'm so delayed. Which look really works for me? Project Angry Man, hell yeah. Anna, I love his bendy leg. I think I do feel like the Bruce Timm Kirby kind of stuff appeals to a lot of people. I don't know how young you guys are, but I've showed you younger people that I know, and they all seem to like it more. And I have to, I feel like it's maybe more to do with maybe the kind of material that's out there for younger people. Or maybe it's just like a demographic thing. Like growing up, the artists that I was looking at and other people, like the artists they were into, they all liked the heavy detail stuff. So when you look at simpler things, and I remember I had this piss poor attitude, and I've told you guys about it before, and thank God I got rid of it, which is that it was like people that drew in like and I didn't even know who Bruce Timm was at the time. I just remember it being the Batman style, the animated series style. But people who drew that way wouldn't ever make it to Marvel and DC because look at it. It's simple. It's not a serious or a talented artist's style, which thank God I got rid of that attitude. You want to? Oh man, I was not doing myself anything good thinking that way, and I believe I thought that way because just a younger artist where everything is ego driven. You don't consider like manga was cool, but it wasn't comics. My opinion, I keep saying it. Thank God has changed. I almost now prefer manga over comics or American style comics. That's not totally true, but just because I find them to be more creative. Like there's way more stories being told. With the caveat being, obviously, I'm talking about Marvel and DC, and it's not their fault. They're making superhero books. And I don't want them to ever stop. You know, it's just a different style, right? Did your vid get posted on your channel? Haven't been able to find it since. Sorry, man. What video was that? Donald, look up Eric Guzman. His style might trigger your brain on how to incorporate chunky brutes into that style. All right, let's. Oops, I was about to search up Donald Delay. Ooh, paste and search. Thank you, brother. Let me check out this guy's stuff. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. This is more like that animated style, and I understand why people could see one or the other. But yeah, I'll definitely check it. I know it can be done. I just haven't spent too much time showing stuff. I'm wondering if I've done anybody. We're gonna interrupt more art again. If I've done anything in like a chunkier style with that. I feel like I would have. Oh man, I still love this picture. You guys remember this? Fucking Broly. Look at that. It's good stuff. Okay. Because this is the thing too. This is the style of coloring I want to try with that, and I think it could really. It might be the cat's ass for me right now. Anyway. Sketchbook, sketchbook, sketchbook. Wait here. No. Well, I mean, there's the Thor picture I already showed you guys, but I don't. I mean, he's big, but it's not like a complicated pose, so it might not. I'm surprised. Like, all I do is draw big muscle dudes. You'd figure it'd have something. What the hell? All right. Well, I guess the answer is no, or maybe it's. Yeah, I don't. Let's check this one more time. Yeah, nothing. I mean, there's this, but I don't really care. Yeah. This is when I was still trying to figure out, like, how does this style work with, like, groups of things? This is super slop. Just turn that off. Um, you know what I mean? Like, it's there. Once the color gets in there, then we actually start seeing some action, but it's a little hard for the eye to follow, follow what's going on there. All right, Broly, get out of here. Get out of here, Broly. Get out of here, Broly. Thank you, Donald. Working early? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm at the standing desk. I'm sitting right now. I'm standing for a while. But thanks for the reminder. And I got a really shitty stool. So that when the back starts hurting, I have to get off. Okay. Donald, the energy-filled gestural look Kirby Tim combo. Thank you, man. All right. I think you guys are really forcing me. And I'm 33, but like all your stuff. Thank you. John, it's hard to pick. All your art is pretty classy stuff. Thanks, man. The one where you did. Okay, so everybody likes the Loki piece. Cool. Guzman presents chunky shapes in such a clean style really well. Then again, you can always just focus study Tim's versions of Hulk paint. Yeah. Luckily, there's a lot of awesome artists out there that have already done a lot of the heavy lifting, right? We can just swipe. I'm joking. Okay. Let's focus here. For context, I've got lunch coming up in about an hour, or maybe a half hour. We'll see. But then I will be gone for an hour. And where are we at? I got to draw that one. That one's going to be a little heavier. Okay, I'll let you guys know in like 45 minutes if we're going to keep streaming after lunch, okay? And for those coming in a little bit later now, I'm looking to stream Monday to Friday. Early to like same kind of thing. I'm out of work currently, so I'm putting as much energy and focus as I can into client work and my own thing. So there's a lot of drawing that's got to get done. But Elena and I have made an agreement, and I'm just sharing this with you guys because I know there's a lot of artists in here that might be going through the same thing. So I'm still sticking with the same work hours that I would have had when I was at my day job there. And that's all just pushing to get something going with art in the meantime because I don't know what's going to happen at work. And it could be an opportune time to start working on like a crowdfunded book and stuff. So once I run out of client stuff to do, then we're going back in and working on Godslayer. You know what I was thinking of doing? Actually, I'm just saying this out loud. I'm not going to say if it's going to happen. But buddy of mine, hopefully a buddy of you guys, Eric Faries. I always say his last name wrong. I know it's not Faries. I'm pretty sure it's Faries. He's got a metal band called Bog. Was it something Black Bog, I think it is? I should see how much costs to commission a song, because I think a nice Godslayer metal song would be sick. You know what I mean? What this guy's doing too, so you guys know it's not just it's the forearm guy. He's meditating, and he's got a whole bunch of books around him, Doctor Strange style. And we're going to stop drawing in a second here, because I was going to show you where's Godslayer at right now. Godslayer. Actually, why not? Let's do it, because we're having some spicy fun. I'll show you guys where Godslayer was before. Some of these ideas are making it into this one. Not this book particularly, but maybe one day eventually. But just so you guys can understand where I was coming from. These were like, how old was this? You guys might actually remember this, some of you older cats. 2014. So I'm bad at math. 6 years ago, eh? Yeesh. Okay. Open. So this is when the guy would have like an arm. And this is him. This might be a little hard for you to see, but I'll try to paint it out for you here. I might actually keep this logo or change it up. I really like that. But the art style is not really going to match this. But these were pillars of meat and blood and guts. And this is the guy climbing up here. And the idea here was this guy was killing gods to resurrect his loved one. Very classic story. This is nothing new. But the visuals, let's have some fun. And again, I don't know how the hell this would translate into what I'm doing now, but back then, I was doing a lot of concept artwork. Like learning, trying to learn. So a lot of these are fast, and it's not that great, but hopefully it sells the pitch, right? Like, so this guy's climbing it up. These are all full of arms. Arms are reaching at him and all that kind of stuff. Here's like there's this demon in the foreground. He's like pointing at the main character, and he's got to like sacrifice his arm to get the god arm kind of thing, or the Godslayer weapon in his arm. Some of these are being mixed together, just so you guys, so you know, don't take all these at face value. So he has to pour it in like this molten lava to burn the arm off. Really over the top. I don't know how pushed with, like, I don't think I'm going full blood and gore like this one was in here. You guys let me know. You guys want blood and gore? And yeah, I just see Euro talking about the Doom Eternal soundtrack. I listen to that all the time. No lie. When I'm doing this, even the last Doom one, great shit. And I'm gonna read there. I see some people ask some really sick stuff there. I'm just not sure if I want to go into the blood and guts. I know people like blood and guts, or if I want to just tone it back a little bit. We'll see. But anyway, these are one of them where it's these two twin gods and all these people. Might be a little hard to see because these are a little dark. They would walk up these pillars, and you see all these people are being hung, and they'd be gutted. So they're dripping all this blood. And the idea is these guys go up here and they eat the corpses after they've been drained of blood. So our guys got to go in there and kill these guys. As you can tell, this is a lot of video game inspired stuff. Some cool ideas. Here's a little hard to see. The main character's down. I don't even know if this will show up. Might not be cropped right, but main character's here, and there's like this meat worm floating around. Yeah, this was the original idea with this guy. Yeah, see, 2012. So this is old. So this kind of arm look, you can see it's more of the classic kind of style I'm going in now. It wouldn't look this detailed. I don't think any comic should be this. You're going to be spending so much time drawing it. Working at the day job, scribbling here. But even like all this cool rendering and stuff like that, like I think it's just too much. Character designs. Yeah. So now get ready, because here, was it here or was it? I thought we did a different one. All right, let's turn this off so you can see the inks. But this is the Tim / Kirby stuff. Once you start putting some color on there, right, like it comes together pretty easy. I just want to see where that one pinup was. Sketchbook. Oh, I put it in here. My bad. So you can. 1 second, guys. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Okay, so this was the difference between the last one you guys saw. This is again with the more Kirby kind of look, if it ever wants to load. This is most likely the direction the book would look, but you can see like it has a more lighter feel to it. It's not the blood and guts and gore and all that stuff, which I think more people would dig it. Part of me wants to go because I want maybe my son to read it at some point. So it's like without the gore and the guts, I can show it to him without feeling like maybe I shouldn't be showing him ripping skulls off guys and stuff, right? Or maybe I do it and then wait until he's old enough to actually look at it. So there's this. This would probably be more similar to what it would actually look like with, that texture we put on stuff, which I really like, and it's got the modern shading and stuff, which I like it. It's clean, right? And then the other one, this one was a little bit more retro. This was just an example for a test here, right? I just need something a little more clear of a costume. I'm still not sold on the colors. Like these colors I'm leaning towards because they're not so blue and yellow. Like this one feels a little bit, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There's a story decision I think I want to go with this look. But this one feels a little bit maybe darker. And I should say too, the colors that I was picking here, these are from the old Marvel 90s color swatches. Let me just bring those up to show you guys. So down right here. So I downloaded these boys. This is all the colors that they used back in the 80s and 90s, I believe it was. So I was trying to color sample all that. So that's what it looks there. But now I think what we'll do is we'll go more, pick any color and then shade it that way. But this might be the way to go. I'm going to show you guys the actual line art, right? So it's got everything you need. It's clean, it's quick. The roughs, right? We'd still build it up the similar way. And it goes from there. Okay. So we just back out of this here, catch up with you guys, and then get back to work here. Okay. Hey Dennis, how's it going? Chris Samney, yeah, he's a huge influence. I like that guy too, man. John, did you see the Jake Parker's video on short story comic making? Yeah, totally. It's a great video. I highly recommend everybody give that a shot. Sorry to hear about you. Oh, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. It's all good. Euro, speaking of Slayers and music, sorry, yeah, I saw that and that's why I brought it up. The Doom Eternal soundtrack is amazing. Well, so that's Godslayer, the dude with the arm. That's the original one, yeah. Now we're kind of putting in the Castlevania mix. Rip and tear, more guts for the gut. Yeah. Tasteful blood and guts. And meaningful deaths. Hey, great now, welcome. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to it. All right, get here. Let me get my reference back up. So one thing's for certain, there's no shortage of ideas or content. It's just what do you pull the trigger on? That's always the problem. Okay, I'll get all this. How's that look? Yeah, that works. So how you guys all doing during all this? You guys working on anything, or you, those of you that are staying home? You guys just relaxing, waiting for it to blow over? Actually, I wonder. Sorry, I'm so distracted. Let's actually turn the. I'm gonna put the Doom soundtrack on myself, but I gotta make it so you guys can't hear it. or else this video just gets destroyed on YouTube. Rip and tear. Yeah. Yeah, you guys got a moving day coming up soon, don't you? It's exciting, eh? You know what's funny about metal music? In the context we were just talking about, I'm like, man, you hear this stuff? And it's like, yeah, Godslayer needs to have blood and guts. Yeah. And I'm catching up on personal project, right on streaming progress and such. Starting next week, I get client work too. Good for you. But was worried there for a bit. Work was drying up. I'm glad. It's working out for you, especially now too. Create now is I manage cybersecurity for a healthcare company. I haven't done anything but be in crisis mode. Hopefully, shooting a Huion review soon. Well, good luck with everything, man. I know it's just something else right now. I don't like talking about it too much. We didn't during the live streams either because I know most of y'all are probably just either you don't care what's going on. Not that you don't care, but like whatever. And then a good portion of you just like you don't want to think about it anymore, right? So come on YouTube and do that sort of stuff. So I'll try not to talk about it too much. All right. What are we missing? Been in 3 weeks isolation, live in Europe. Ugh. How's it going over there, by the way? I hear it's not too good. Move in July? Oh yeah, you got plenty of time. You got plenty of time. You're good. All right. I think this guy's done. All right. Make sure all our dots are connected. This looks cool. Thanks, Johnny. And I live in a pretty corrupt country too, so it makes it even more interesting for us in Romania. Ooh, I've heard things. I've heard things. I've been watching some David Icke, listen to some Alex Jones, some some other alternative media cats. Like I could care regardless of what you think of those guys, but they have an interesting perspective on what's going on or things like that. You might not need to worry about all of it. You got nothing else to do. You're killing time. I highly recommend listening to it. It's very interesting, whether it's real or not, or just their ideas. But it's interesting, man. You know what? Here, sorry guys. Just trying to think. Speed's of the essence here. Do we go into? Actually, I don't even think I can use SketchUp anymore. Let me check. I was gonna say maybe I could go into SketchUp and put a city in, but I think SketchUp you got to pay for it now. Is that true? Do you guys? Anybody use SketchUp? Do you guys have like a free version or? Yeah. See, this is all I have. What is this? I don't want to do that. What's a classic license? Subscription. Yeah, SketchUp is like it's expensive, man. Oh wait, for personal, is that free? It's free. Web only. What? I do not want to subscribe. Oh, free, 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 free. 1 second, guys. I want to see. I haven't used I haven't been doing comics that needed SketchUp in a long time. So, yeah, okay, whatever. Can you still export? City. Sorry, guys. Here, so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh no, I don't want to upload. I want to. Oh, maybe you don't get access to it. Well, this is no good. It's actually create a new model in 3D. Yeah, this is poopy. Damn, now I have to draw things legit. Ugh. You get something good and they take it away. You inked this guy so fast. Thanks, man. What's that? Any on Nami? I don't know what that is. I'm not cool. Did you online drink with buddies? Online drink? I don't even know what that is. I understand what online drinking would be, but I don't know what on Nami is. Hey, no problem, Johnny. I guess you have to pay it. Yeah, I don't know. Pay for SketchUp. That makes this background so much more. Okay, stop bitching and get to it. All right, so man, I'm so salty about it. All right, I'm gonna put it off for as long as I have to here. So this guy's in a crystal with the idea of a city behind him. So we're gonna try to use that to our advantage here. Crystal. And as you notice, the crystal's taking up a good chunk of real estate, and I have no idea why that would be the case. So weird to make a choice like that. Let's. Yeah, I'm gonna use straight lines here. Yeah, let's put the crystal above him. What I'm hoping to do here is obviously draw less background, but still have the idea of city. So what I think we can do is we can kind of do like, okay, let's say this is a straight line for a building back here. We can go like jaggy lines, you know what I'm saying? And insinuate what would be back there. Since I have to color this too, it'll be easier for me to kind of amplify that too. A lot of this crystal is going to get color treatment. Let's not draw over him. We can do that later. Okay, I don't know if we're going to have a contour layer, but put one just in case, and we can always get rid of it. Chris, David Icke is so funny because he used to be a pro footballer. Now he is deep in all this stuff about aliens, different dimensions, and government cover-ups. Normally, sports guy would think that kind of stuff is too nerdy. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's true. $120 a year. Yeah, I know. Clip Studio can import models. Yeah, but I don't. Where do I get the models from? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, but I don't know. I can't. At least from what I just quickly checked, I can't access models, period, unless I pay. Unless there's hey, let's check this out. Let's try where's Clip Studio? Where are you? Okay, let's log in. Yeah. Let's see if I can find like a city. Search your city. Okay, go to free 3D, search your city, free models, and import in Clip Studio. Dennis, are you telling me there's hope? Are you giving me hope? Try and find an old version? Okay. You still have a free version. Alright. So there's... You like to do flats? I appreciate it. What is this? 3D data setup? Okay, apparently I need to like really look into this 3D stuff for Clip Studio. Anyway, what were you saying? What is it? Free 3D. Okay, let's try that. Free 3D. Boom. Because all I really need is just like the rectangles, I guess is the easy way. I never heard of free 3D. City. Enter. Oops. Oh, wow. Really? Here, let's so you guys can all see what the hell I'm looking at. Look at these, man. I don't know what the hell they'll look like in Clip Studio, but that one looks yummy. That looks really good. Download. Yeah. Download it all. Let's go. Download. They gotta make it. You don't even need to make an account. That's the internet I like. Okay, 1 second. Okay, put it over here. Nope. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Downloads. This is how spoiled I got with SketchUp and people making models for me. You can just quickly put in cities and stuff. 75 low poly buildings. Yeah, right. That's so good. Extract here. Where'd you go? Low poly building. Okay. I don't know how this works with this. So file, import. What am I importing? Create 3D data? OBJ, right? Oh no. I don't want to have to make the city. See, now I'm getting lazy. Ooh. Getting intimidated. How do we... Alright, hold on. We're all learning together here. What is it? Select material, layout. Just trying to... something like that. And if I can grab each one, select layer, is that going to work? No. Object. Interesting. Now, how do we explode this thing so we can edit the whole damn thing? Ground model to floor surface. Select preset movable parts. Yes. Okay. That's neat. Do you guys know what's it? There's one called City Environment. Might better suit your needs. City Environment. Okay. This is awesome, man. Thank you guys. This is one of the benefits of streaming, man. You can get some, you get like stuff like this, right? I never even would have known about this. And now you just changed my whole day. Sorry, what did you say it was? It was city environment. I don't believe you can split up the model clip. Okay, okay. That makes sense. City environment. Like this one. Boom. Boom. Download, download, download. Alright, let's try that. Okay. Get rid of you. See you later. File. Import 3D data. So here, am I saying that right? What's with the lighting on this? One of these was lighting. It's like my global light is all messed up. What's happening? I don't. Okay, how do you drag a 3D model? I just downloaded, then you import 3D data. I think it was. Scroll down a bit. Got it. Thanks. Probably material preset. Nope. Apply light source. Let's turn that off. Or maybe we need it on. We do not want a shadow. I want line art. I can see it on my other screen. This is the fun time right here with 3D tools. Interesting. Okay, well, oops. All right, let's try this. Extract line, I think. There's a lot going on here. I'm going to try something. Blow up the computer here. It's not. Something ain't right. Maybe it has something to do with the my global light source or something. I don't currently see. Weird. All right, let's try. Let's look for city again. Let's try something else. All right, we want free. That'd be great. And all this time, I probably could have drawn it. City popping out of iPhone screen. It's free. Let's download it. Let's give it a shot. See you later, buddy. Okay. So you go File, Import 3D data. I wonder what these are, what these files are. FBX. Oh, okay, there you go. That worked. Whatever FBX is. This is what we want. This is what we want. Alright, let's try to match it to like the perspective we got, eh? Might work. Alright, let's make some big. Actually, I guess we don't really need to right now. How would we show... Oops. Yeah, we're getting somewhere now, boy. Oh, look at the mouse wheel. That's what I wanted. Field of view. Yeah. Oh, now we're talking. Get that nice tilt. Yeah, boy. Oh no, where'd you go? No. Undo that. Yo, this Doom soundtrack. Starting to chug a little bit here. Let's zoom that out a bit so we can get some sky. Alright, let's save this before we get into 3D file format. Okay, that might be the one that I wanted to use. Alright, now, Dennis, my man. How do we magically turn this into line art? Or am I drawn over it? I know you can do it. Is it extract line? I think that's for pictures. Can you like double click in this? Right click. No way. Okay, let's bring this out here so I can read it better. Alright. We do not want a shadow. Ever. No shadows. Apply light source? No. See, it's all being affected by a light somewhere. So it's that. Now, why is this all gray? I have EX, yeah. Whatever the super fancy expensive one is. Operation of transparent part. Okay. I'm going to start clicking around. If you got any tips, that'd be great. Or anybody, that'd be awesome. I wonder if you could like put a picture in like this and then like make perspective grids snap to that. That'd be pretty cool. Okay. So there's some nice things up here. I don't want to lose. I might just redraw over this, to be honest. Hey, Hector. I know, man. Well, welcome. This is the worst part of comic books. If you like drawing backgrounds, God bless you, man. What's this? You can. Haven't tried myself. Okay, that's fair. Alright, well, let's put this back down here. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this layer because I don't want to screw this up. Alright, so if we click on it, border, extract line, tone, display decrease color. Okay. $128. Let's remember that. There we go. Kind of. So I'm getting a lot, but I'm also losing a lot too. Hope you guys are safe. Yeah, man. Hope you're safe too. We're good here. We're good. But thank you for that. What the hell? I can't get rid of the gray now. I had it and then it just disappeared. I know this is super entertaining to watch, so I apologize. Alright. I think what we're going to do this the old school way. Alright. We're going to do it the old school way, my friends. Alright, so we find 2 points. That'll make one. And so that goes here. And then we need the ones that go down. There we go. And then we need the ones that go this way. And then we're just going to loosely draw in this background. Sound good? Sound good. Got about 10 minutes and then we're going to cut the stream. Should be back after. Oops. There we go. And what we're going to do after lunch is take this background into Photoshop. And put some building faces on this. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll see it. Essentially, it is paths in Photoshop that are already created. And you just adjust them to the shape and then you stroke it. And if you have no idea what I just said, come back in about an hour and you'll be able to see it. Is anybody in the chat, actually, do you guys have a Nintendo Switch? And if so, have you played Doom on there? How's it run? Also, this is why I don't like doing superhero books. This is some of the most boring shit. That's why in like Jessup King they're on like an alien world where there's no cities and stuff. Like it's I know like it's good to have it every now and then, but I can't I can't imagine doing panels of this kind of stuff day after day. Just, I mean, if you had to, you had to, right? But God. I usually don't play FPS on Switch, but I've heard it runs well. Just hearing the soundtrack, right? I'm like, yeah, might be cool. When we get to actually inking this, we gotta break up some of these lines because they start to look a little too. Starts to look, even though we were bringing a model in here, it can start to look 3D. We don't want that. Oops. See you later, brother. Thanks for popping in. Hope you have a good one. What? Oops. There we go. Okay. Oh, we're going to wrap this one up. All right, guys. I'll see you in like an hour if you guys are on. If not, that's cool. Thanks for watching. If you're watching the recorded version of this, you're a champ. 3.5 hours. It's great. Yeah, so see you guys soon. And keep reading comics, keep making comics, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.